Me. Said hello.
Okay, I'm back. This time, it's time for dessert. And what is on the menu for dessert? Well, after eyeing the Ninja Creamy for some time, I finally found one at an open box at a pretty good price on eBay and got it. The This is a pretty interesting device. Um, it has to be demonstrated to explain how it works. So this container here is grass jelly. It's grass jelly that I dumped out from the can, and in a can, it's a solid block, kind of like cranberry juice. It's not cranberry juice. Cranberry sauce is out of the can, right? It's a can-shaped cylinder, and I broke it down and I heated it and pureed it. Added some sugar, mostly Splenda, a little bit of white sugar, and some brown sugars. And the idea is, can I turn this into a grass jelly? Can I turn this into kind of a grass jelly ice like they have at Meat Fresh? And I also have an ice cream made of 2% milk, but let's try this guy first. So what I need to double check here is that it is not too hard and that it is cold enough. So to do that, I've got my thermometer, which will be out of view. I think this is cold enough. It needs to be below 6 degrees Fahrenheit. Might be a little too hard. I'm a little bit worried. There's sugar in it, so it should be sugary. I hope that it's sugary enough, and that the shape of the jelly prevents it from becoming an ice cube. But we will guess we'll see. So you freeze the stuff that you want, and it cannot be a solid ice cube. Solid ice cube that doesn't have some kind of crystallized granular formation was too hard for this thing to crush up. And then you put it into this thing, and then, whoops, this metal paddle here will actually spin real fast, get pushed down, and then come up again. And in doing so, it'll get pushed all the way through the material. So I have to attach it to this lid here. And then somehow it's going to go down and up. Unfortunately, since the container is kind of all frosty, it might not be super clear. Maybe I'll do a batch with water. Actually, you know what? Before I do this, let's do a demo. Oh, I can't. Sorry, I can't do a demo because all 3 of my containers are in use. So we'll have to imagine. So I put that in. So I'll put that in here, and then snap the lid on. Position it here, and then you lock it in place. And it's got these modes, and I have to go through and actually run with water in the cycle, figure out what each of these modes actually does. But I think this is going to be like...
Comrade. Adelina. Has invaded the chat.
What is it going to be like? That's an interesting question. Maybe it'll be like a sorbet. Now we can hear the sound. Yeah, not so easy to see it from me. The blade is kind of at this level now, and it's working its way down, slowly coming down. But you can't really easily see where the blade is. But from the sound, you'll probably hear it once it starts to hit tight. And I hope it's not going to be too terrible. All right, now it's going in. Oh, that's not too bad. Doesn't sound like it's going to break out. Breaking the same. Paddles down through and you can't move that. The paddle's coming up now. Now it's said that the cycle time on this is about half the time of a cockroach. So you should run it twice. So let me open this guy out. Just open. Wow. Wow. This is very soft and loose. It's pretty amazing actually. The texture is just so fine. Actually, it's so fine that I want to taste it. Let me get a spoon before I respin it and see what it's like on first spin. That is so soft. Wow. I didn't expect it to be so close to begin with, but yeah, that is like it's even finer than meat fresh ice, and it probably doesn't even need to be respun. But I'm going to respin it as an experiment, since ice cream usually needs to be respun, and see how it is after being run through a second time. The sound is interesting. I feel like there's an air compressor, both a spinning blade and an air compressor. Let's sorbet it again. The blade comes down very slowly in the cycle and comes up pretty fast. I think this is a better way to position this light. All right. Yeah. Okay. It's just so light in there. That is pretty amazing. Let me put this in the freezer. I'm probably going to eat some later. Let's take a look at the give it the ice cream a shot. So let me quickly rinse off the paddle. Now this is an ice cream that I made with 2% milk and some stabilizers. I did the 2% milk previously, and it came out like really, really good. So this basically is frozen solid. I'm just going to try to push down some of this stuff up here. And of course, it does not taste like ice cream at all. It tastes like a chunk of ice. So let's put this in here. And lock that in. Turn on the new CREAMi. That up. And then, is this with the stabilizers more like ice cream or light ice cream? I think I will still go with light ice cream. Need a flashlight here.
It's I guess overall it's easier to see the Silencia. It's now starting to get that hit the surface. And then it's picking up the stage part above the paddle. The paddle looks like it's about here going down, but then it's picked up the outer portion above it. Then close to the bottom there. My vacuum cleaner sound has not stopped and coming up then. It came up quite fast. It's up here now.
It's open. It's stuck to the top. Oh, I see. All right. And that's pretty creamy. That is very creamy. Probably doesn't even need a respin. All right. That is a very good mouthfeel. Given that this is just 2% milk. Okay, and that is how this thing works. I'm pretty impressed at what it did with the with that grass jelly. This I was kind of expecting because this is what everybody talks about, ice cream, and but getting this kind of texture with very little sugar. It's for this amount you need about 2 tablespoons of sugar. For that 2 tablespoons, I used 1.5 of Splenda, and just half a tablespoon of actual sugar. And without the fat and without the sugar, it still comes out with a pretty impressive texture. That's a Ninja Creamy. I think there's a lot of interesting things that this thing could be used for.
Comrade. Crazy the Potato has invaded the chat.
And that's it. I am done. Any last questions before I close the stream? All right, goodbye.